Hey friends, in this video I'm going to speak with you about the ICE expedited removal policy that you may have heard about in the news this week. I'm doing this video because I know that some people are really afraid of this policy and they may think it applies to them when in fact it may not. And so I want to break it down for you what expedited removal is within this new policy, when it's going to go into effect, and what limitations ICE is instructing its officers so that they don't pick up the wrong people. So if you're interested in these topics, watch this video and be sure to share it with other people. Give this a thumbs up so that YouTube can share it with other people who might be out there who are very, very concerned about whether this will impact them or not. For those of you who are new to me, welcome. I'm Latoya McBean Pompey. I'm an immigration lawyer in New York. And subscribe to this channel if you have not yet already done so, and hit the notification bell so that you won't miss any of my videos. Now, let's get into it. Now, expedited removal, friends, has been in place for quite some time. It's not a new thing. Previously, ICE would pick up individuals who were within 100 miles of the U.S. border, who had been in the United States for up to 2 weeks. But now, under this new policy that they introduced in July of 2019, under this new policy, it expands their ability to pick up individuals who are anywhere within the United States, who are undocumented and had been in the United States less than 2 years. So obviously this is a bigger pool of individuals that they can now pick up for the purpose of quickly removing them from the United States without them going through the immigration court process before an immigration judge. And so these are individuals that will not get their day in court. They will literally be picked up and then removed. That's what expedited removal is all about. When ICE introduced this new policy, of course, it was met by challenges in the court, and a preliminary injunction was issued. However, in June of this year, of 2020, that injunction was lifted. And so ICE now, they have the authority to enforce this new policy. So fast forward to where things are now. In the news this week, BuzzFeed News as well as Bloomberg reported out on the fact that on October 2nd, the acting director of ICE sent an email which indicated that they are going to move forward with this new policy once the officers have been trained. And so the date that was stated in this email, according to these articles, is that they are on course to begin this new policy or to enforce this new policy by October 16th. And BuzzFeed also reported out that another email was sent which indicated that ICE attorneys will need to do an initial review of these cases before these individuals are deported. And so there are limitations they're putting in place to ensure that they don't pick up the wrong people. So I'm going to go over that list of limitations as I understand it to be based on what is being reported by BuzzFeed and Bloomberg. So the first limitation is that they cannot touch individuals who are already in removal, who are already going through due process before an immigration judge. The second limitation is that they cannot deport any individual who can prove that they've been here before the policy was issued in July of 2019. The third limitation is that they cannot deport individuals who lack mental capacity or who have mental competency issues. The fourth limitation, as I understand it, is that they cannot deport individuals who are the sole caregiver of a U.S. citizen or a green card holder child. Next, they cannot deport anyone who have an opportunity to get a green card in immigration court. They also cannot quickly remove or deport an individual who is a crime victim or a witness to a crime. Those are the limitations that are being reported out currently. Now, ICE is also stating that they're primarily going to target individuals who are in their criminal alien program and those who are in their work enforcement program. And I'm going to read you the quote that comes from the email that the acting director sent, and I'm going to try my best to put it up on the screen if we're able to. So this email says, as a practical matter, I anticipate that the July 23rd, 2019 designation will be primarily used by ICE in the criminal alien program and work enforcement context when deportation officers encounter aliens who have been arrested by another law enforcement agency for criminal activity, or when special agents encounter unlawful workers at work sites targeted for enforcement action based on investigative leads. So basically they're saying that they're going to go after people who they know to be on their list, so to speak, in their criminal alien program, and those who they've encountered by doing sweeps of, work sites, I should say, those who they know about in those two categories or programs, so to speak. At least that's what the acting director has written in this email. I forgot to mention that one of the things that they also talk about doing is that if they pick up an individual and that individual presents fear of being persecuted, if he or she has to be sent back to their country, then that individual will go through an asylum interview to determine whether that fear is credible or not. Now, what kind of evidence can an individual present to ICE that would prove that he or she has been here for at least 2 years? Well, according to the article or the emails, I should say, the first proof or the first evidence is bank books, leases, school records, employment records, and any other record that the individual has that proves that they've been in the United States for at least 2 years continuously. And if the individual don't have any evidence on him or her at the time that they're picked up, then ICE is saying that the individual will be provided with a brief but reasonable opportunity to get the evidence. Now, one thing that you guys should also know is that, again, this policy doesn't really apply to a whole lot of undocumented individuals. And that's because most people have been here for much longer than 2 years. And in fact, one of the articles cited that over 60% of undocumented individuals have been in the United States for 10 or more years. So again, just know that this policy is very narrow in that it targets only those who have been here less than 2 years and they cannot prove that they've been here for at least 2 years and they're anywhere within the United States and they are undocumented. And then ICE narrowed it even further by telling us they're targeting individuals that they know about who are in their criminal alien program and work enforcement program. So I hope you found this information helpful, and just know that if you are undocumented, you've got to work with an immigration lawyer to find out what your options are that would put you on a pathway to permanent residency if there is a pathway for you. It is worth finding out. Guys, I hope this was helpful. Again, be sure to share it with other people, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.